Since occupying the West Bank in 1967, Israel has repeatedly attempted to impose a control over the region through various decisions. However, all of these attempts have failed due to the steadfastness of the Palestinian people in asserting their national and historical rights to their land. Nevertheless, the Israeli government has recently made a number of decisions, including paving the way for settlements, i.e. measures to purchase lands and property, and announcing them, as well as lifting the secrecy surrounding the Palestinian Land Registry. These measures aim to legalize the theft of land and seizure of Palestinian property. Through this decision, the Israeli authorities are attempting to legitimize their presence in the West Bank. This violates international law, signed agreements, and the guarantees set out in the Oslo Accords. The Israeli government is also imposing local authorities on us in the Hebron governorate, particularly around the Ibrahimi Mosque and Rachel's tomb. This allows settlers to access the private property of Palestinian citizens in Area C, where they can then carry out acts of forgery and fraud to take control of the land. Israel has attempted to assert control by declaring land as state property through numerous announcements. This became apparent in 2024 when Israel designated a significant portion of land as state property through military orders. Today, it is moving towards implementing this measure legally, according to their point of view. However, from an international perspective, all measures implemented by the occupying forces in the West Bank and East Jerusalem are illegal. As Palestinians and as a state of Palestine, we consider these actions to undermine the two-state solution. Therefore, they constitute de facto annexation, which is in clear and flagrant defiance of all international statements, condemnations, and resolutions. This includes a vision of U.S. President Donald Trump through the Peace Council, as set out in his 20-point plan for resolving the Palestinian issue. The last of these was the right of self-determination for the Palestinian people, which is in line with all UN resolutions. Condemnations must be followed by more stringent measures against the Israeli occupation, which is depriving Palestinians of their land. Israel has a long history of crime committed in the Palestinian territories. The apartheid wall and the measures taken on the ground are a prelude to such decisions. Israel thinks it will get away with it, but today it lives in international isolation. Therefore, as I mentioned earlier, the world must take tougher action against Israel to stop its aggression against Palestine. Expropriation of land is illegal during an occupation. All international laws and norms establish boundaries that the occupying power must not cross. The publication of the records is illegal and contrary to international law. This process goes beyond the framework of international law and the duties outlined by international law for the occupying power towards the occupied state. Through its daily actions on the ground, such as confiscating land and spreading checkpoints and barriers, of which there are more than 100 in the West Bank, the Israeli occupation affects the population and their economy. Other measures aimed at undermining the institutions of the Palestinian state include the piracy and theft of clearance funds, which have not been transferred to the Palestinian state. This has affected the state of Palestine's employees, who have not received their salaries for many months. The two-state solution was an international vision developed under international auspices. Therefore, the international community must protect this vision and approach by ensuring the right to self-determination for the Palestinian people through the establishment of their state. Through its national institutions, the Palestinian Authority has worked to communicate with the entire world. This is evident in President Mahmoud Abbas's immediate travel to the Kingdom of Jordan after decisions were issued, where he met with King Abdullah II, as well as his subsequent European tour to inform the world of the gravity of these decisions. The Arab countries have taken an honorable stance towards these decisions and have sent a message that a ceasefire declaration in Gaza or the cessation of war and aggression against Gaza means annexation will not take place. However, Israel does not care about any international decisions today and does not even abide by Trump's statements, despite him openly declaring his opposition to annexation. Although the Israelis have not officially announced their intention to annex the territory, the measures they are taking on the ground suggest that they are moving in that direction.